buddy? Lock plano? It's a seatbelt. Pretty safe, dude. Hello and welcome. Welcome back to another fit video. And in this episode, we're gonna do some troubleshooting and trying to figure out what's wrong with Fit 2. If you're not caught up, I'll put a link up here to my last video. Since my last video, I haven't touched the car. I've essentially just drove it off the trailer and parked it. I haven't really looked at it, dug into it. So let's start that now. Let's figure out why she's sick. Let's figure out what she needs to be healthy again. She looks sad and dirty. So some of the first things on the agenda, I'm going to check the fluid, check the oil, coolant, make sure there's some in there. And then I guess I'll throw the OD2 scanner on, see if I can pick up any codes out of it. And that will help narrow things down. I think it might need some oil. That's coolant. That's good. It's up to the top. Let's see what the filter looks like. Oops. That's not too bad. Definitely seen worse. What about brake fluid? Looks pretty low. Definitely need to top that off. I'll probably flush the system anyway. So far we know it needs oil and brake fluid. I'll probably just put enough in there to run the car. I do plan on doing an oil change anyway, so I'm not going to replace it quite yet. So I do want to do some test driving first. Okay, I added some oil and some brake fluid. Not sure how much oil I put in. There's definitely enough to be worried. Now let's start her up and see if I can get a code out of her. I might have to drive her first before she reads the code, since I did disconnect the battery. It has to refigure itself out again. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Okay, car's running. I got my OBD2 plugged in. It's down here above the gas pedal. If you're not familiar, let's see if it says anything. No code stored. Let's back up. See any pending? No pending codes in this module. So you might have to drive the car first and kind of piss it off. Well, let's take it for a drive. I guess I'll let the wife know first. That way she can come get me if it breaks down. Okay, guess I'm ready. See how she does. Take her for a first drive. I really need to clean in here. It's kind of disgusting. I'm not a germaphobe by any means, but I still don't like touching this thing. Definitely need a new steering wheel cover. Definitely sounds a little rough. Like, might have like a bad wheel bearing, or have a flat spot, or a bent wheel or something. Brakes work okay. I definitely don't want to go too fast in it. Don't want my wheel to fall off. Okay, I'm back home. Driving wise, like engine trans wise, the car did okay, didn't have any issues, never bogged or did anything weird. Never got a check engine light or anything. No pending code still, but I also didn't drive for very long or go very fast. It's like I got to like 42-ish. That's the fastest I went because there's definitely something up in the front end. Either a bad wheel bearing or wheels are bent or something up here. So, yeah, I need to figure that out. I guess I'll jack the front end up and wiggle the wheels, see if there's any play in the bearings. It's also it smells funny as well. Could be the brakes just burning after the rust off, or it could be something else. There's no play up and down, just the slightest play slightly side, which is tie rod, but it's not terrible. Okay, I jacked the car up and I checked all 4 wheels, shook them, nothing is noticeably loose. Crawled underneath the car a little bit and kind of poked around. Can't really see anything. Like the only damage I can see is just the boots on the tie rod ends, so it's not a big deal. What to do next? Guess I can always throw on another set of wheels and tires on that I know are good, and that will cancel out if it's a wheel and tire problem or a wheel bearing problem or something.
A few moments later.
Okay, it's been a little while. I did a few test drives actually, not just one. Swapped the front wheels and it helped it a little bit. It was still there. So I went ahead and swapped all the wheels. And yeah, it feels a little better, but still there a little bit. So I went ahead and put the old wheels on the other fit, and it drives completely fine, like smooth, with those tires. So I'm guessing just the 16s is just, I don't know, softening the bumpiness of it. So there's definitely else. Decided to keep the car jacked up and run the car, and yeah, I figured out my issue. It is this bearing. Kind of sounds like shit. You know, it's not getting any play at all, but it definitely sounds bad. Hey, it's been a few days. Had to order some parts. My parts came in, got a new wheel bearing and hub, and went ahead and got an axle, just in case. I don't like the way the old one kind of felt. Unfortunately for this wheel bearing style, it's a press in, press out wheel bearing. So I had to break down and buy a press. One of those things I've been meaning to buy for a long time. I just haven't, because I usually just use one at work and it takes up a lot of room, so I'm gonna have to find a place for this when I'm done. So let's try to press this thing out. Okay, I took my heat shield off, got it in the press. Sometimes you gotta get a little creative on your setup in order to press things out using a socket. Hopefully this works. Hey, I got that off. That went pretty easy. As you can see, the bearings in there, they're kind of grody, kind of nasty. And a lot of times this part of the race, the bearing, will come off with the flange. And you end up messing this up, trying to get that off. Which is why it's just easier to buy a whole new one from the get-go. That was all shiny and new. Next, there's like a little snap ring in here. You take that out, snapping out, then we can press the bearing out. Well, this is what sucks about the smaller presses. This is rated for 12 tons, but this isn't rated for 12 tons. There's it bending on both sides. See if these crowbars will do a little better. Okay, the old bearing is out. It was kind of a pain in the ass, but it's out. Now we had to put the new bearing in. So I got this all cleaned up, inspected, make sure there's no gouges or anything in there. Looks pretty good. So I'm gonna put this one in. When you put it in, make sure you put it in the right direction. This side, you see this little piece here? That's like a little magnet. You want that to go in first. That's for your ABS wing. First, I'm going to lube this up. Then we'll press it in. Alright, new bearing is in. I did end up using the old bearing to press it down the rest of the way, since it's the same size. And you don't want to press on the middle if you can avoid it. Try to get as close to the side as you can to spread the load. So that's in. Now I got to put my snap ring in. Wish me luck. Okay, snap ring is in. I did lose it for like 20 minutes. I went flying around and I lost it. But luckily I found it. Should probably clean out my garage. It's a disaster in here. Next, I'll put the shield back on, then I'll press this back on. Lube it up, press it in. Hey, my new bearing is pressed in, it's feeling good, no ratcheting like it was before. Now we just need to put it back on the car. Then see how she drops. Okay, before this goes on, I'm going to put my brand new axle in. I got both ends lubed up. That way it goes in easy and comes out easy if I ever had to take it out. So let's shove her in there. Got my axle nut on, just not tight. Got my lower control arm ball joint bolt nut. My tie rod nut. The ABS sensor plug down there, that little 2mm. Don't forget it and don't break it. Got these two big bolts for the strut. Now what's left is to put my brake assembly back on. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Hey, got this all back together, all new. Got new brakes, new axle, new bearings, new studs. It's gonna be like a whole new car on this side. Only thing is left is I need to put the tire on. That way I can tighten the nut. Then we can take it for a test drive. See how this nasty toad does. Okay, this is riding pretty smooth now. A lot better. Okay, I'm back from my test drive and the car drove surprisingly well. No, it doesn't run like shit anymore. It's not bumpy. It's actually pretty smooth. Drives like a cloud. So now that that is taken care of, I'm still not 100% positive there's any other laying issues with it. So far, the engine seems to be driving fine. It's shifting fine. So, I don't know. Maybe that was the only thing that's wrong with it. So, next. The things I've been wanting to do the most is clean the damn thing. Every time I get in, I'm like, don't want to touch it. So, vacuum the hell out of it and start scrubbing it down. I'm also gonna swap my wheels back over because that car looks dumb right now. Okay, I started stripping out the car. I'm pretty much do the exact same thing I did with Fit 1. So if you watched that videos when I got that car, I pretty much had to do the same thing. I stripped it out, pulled the carpet out, seats, plastics, and just got a deep clean. Just clean it up as much as I can. So that's the plan for this. So I will see you in a few days. It's gonna take a while. If you want to see what I do, watch the other video. Doing the same thing.
One eternity later.
Hey, a full day, a bunch of hours and scrubbing and a haircut later. The interior's done. Got the seats and everything back in. I cleaned them as much as possible. You know, these are pretty old, stained, so they're not gonna look that good. Just like the other car did. It's definitely a huge improvement, but it's still a little dingy, a little dirty, but ton better than what it was. Probably won't be able to see super well in the garage. I'll give you a better look when the car is outside. But yeah, a lot better. I even like scrub all the door sills and door panels and the dash and everywhere I can get. Try to clean as much as possible. It's definitely gonna need more cleaning. I did use my old floor mats from my other Fit to cover up the carpet. There's no saving that carpet up there. It's really bad, very torn. I need to find one of those. And now that all that nasty crap's out of the way, I can start working on better stuff. Like oil change and spark plugs. Oil change shouldn't take too long. And spark plugs aren't that bad on this car. They're just kind of in the back portion here. So they can kind of be in a pain in the butt to get to, but not terrible. So I was doing my spark plugs in the first one, in number 1. First it was really hard to get the coil pack off, And once I got it off, the boot was stuck in there. And trying to pull it out, it ended up coming out in pieces. It was really brittle. It was just stuck really bad. So I ended up having to put some penetrant down in the hole, and I let it sit overnight. So it's actually the next day. And I was finally able to get out. It was still hard to get out, but it's out. Then, yeah, the second one is doing the same thing. So the third one came out. It's the only one that came out. And the fourth one's doing the same thing. So I have penetrant down in all the holes. I'm going to set for a while. And hopefully I can get those out. More than likely those are the original coil packs and boots and spark plugs. Luckily, I have the ones from my other fit that I replaced. And they look good. So I can use those. So yeah. Then I can throw these in there once I get the old spark plugs out. I got the rest of them out. They were tough, but they came without falling to pieces. Now I'm going to use my vacuum and suck out that penetrant and also little bits and crumbs from the boots that might have fallen down in the spark plug holes. I'm going to suck those out, pull the spark plugs out. Hey, I'm done with the spark plugs and oil changes and all that stuff. Now let's take it for a drive, see how much better she is. Hey, just driving around, cruising around. The car is significantly better. Drives not bad at all. No real issues. She's a lot nicer to be in. What do you think, buddy? A lot cleaner? Use a seatbelt. Be safe, dude. Yeah, so far, not bad. I haven't taken on any long trips. It's only been like little puddles around the neighborhood and stuff. So far so good. Hey, I'm back. Everything went well. There's still a lot of little things I need to address. Like the steering wheel is all messed up. Of course, the door panel I need to fix, which I have this on order. So hopefully I can fix that. Yeah, like I cleaned the interior, but it's still a little dingy. Considering how bad it was, it's an improvement. You know, at least there's no trash and stuff, and everything's clean and vacuumed. Definitely some stains and stuff, but definitely a lot better than it was. There's definitely some more cleaning that can be done. I just kind of did a quick clean on it. There's some more scrubbing I can do in the interior. Also on the outside, since I already did one wash on it. So it can definitely be cleaned up more. Yeah, I need to fix this. I'll probably just put some zip ties in it because it's cracked down the heel. So I did zip tie it, do the drift stitching on it. And yeah, maybe knock out some of these dents and stuff. Do some paint. I need to sand this down and put some paint on it so that way it doesn't rust away. I know this video wasn't very exciting, kind of boring, simple stuff, but it kind of shows what you can do. You can take a toad, you know, it's been neglected for years. It's sat it for like 2 years or so, and hasn't been driven, hasn't been ran, and for a little bit of love, a little bit of elbow grease, and really not that much money. I didn't spend a whole ton of money on it. List of the things I bought for it replaced. Biggest thing was the wheel bearing flange, and the axle. I don't know why I'm pointing to this side, it was on that side. Probably was the biggest thing I had to replace. I replaced the front rotors and pads. I replaced the spark plugs. And I think that was it. Oh yeah, and oil. So fluids. So I don't know how much money I'll put here, how much money I've spent on those items. Pretty much everything came from Rock Auto or Advance Auto. So it was cheap stuff. So with a little bit of money, a little bit of a goose, it's a good daily for somebody. Maybe for me, maybe for somebody else. I haven't decided yet what the future of this thing beholds yet. Still working on it. I'm kind of pricing things out to see how much a K-swap would run to do. Or just might just get rid of it. But for now, I'll just drive around, put it, and get some good gas mileage out of it. And other news unrelated to this call, but one, I went and picked up some new tires, some wheels and tires for it. So let's see how those look on it. Might be kind of fun. But that is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got some out of it. Now I need to play car shuffle. I gotta move all the cars around to get them back where they belong. You know, that has to go back in the garage. That has to go back in there. No, that goes over there. Yeah, I have to rearrange everything. So I'm gonna go do that. And while I do that, you have a good day and take it easy. Peace.